Hi, this is Ajay Anand and welcome to science classes from excelup.com. In this video, I will be talking about periodic classification of elements. You will be learning about Dobereiner's triad, Newland's law of octave, Mendeleev's periodic table, and about modern periodic table. At the end of the lesson, you will be learning about trends in the modern periodic table with reference to atomic size, valency, and metallic and non-metallic properties of elements. The attempts at classification of elements was being done since historic times, and earlier scientists, they grouped the elements into two groups, that is metals and non-metals. But this classification was not a comprehensive one. So the first attempt was made by a scientist named Dobereiner. The Dobereiner made triads of elements. A triad is a group of three elements. So Dobereiner grouped the elements into different triads, and in Dobereiner's triad, the atomic mass of the middle element was equal to the average of atomic masses of remaining two elements. So for example, in this triad, that is of sodium, lithium and potassium, the atomic mass of sodium is equal to average of atomic masses of lithium and potassium. Similarly, atomic mass of strontium is equal to the average of atomic masses of calcium and barium, and atomic mass of bromine is equal to the average of atomic masses of chlorine and iodine. So it was a good start, but there was limitation. Dobereiner was able to make only three triads, so he was not even able to include all the elements which were known till his time. So Dobereiner's triad did not get much acceptance among scientific community. Then came a scientist named Newlands. He made a law of octaves. He arranged the elements according to their chemical properties and proposed that the chemical property of first element is similar to the chemical properties of the eighth element, the way it happens in case of musical notes. So there are 7 musical notes, and the first musical note is similar to the eighth musical note. So for example, if hydrogen is the first element, then fluorine is the eighth element. So chemical properties of hydrogen and fluorine, they are more or less similar. The limitations of Newland's law of octave were that this law was valid only up to calcium. Only 56 elements were known during his time, but even those 56 elements, all of them, they could not be included in this law of octave. Newland adjusted two elements in the same slot in order to justify his proposition. For example, cobalt and nickel, they were put into the same slot. So Dobereiner's triad or Newland's law of octave, they are of historical importance only, and you don't need to focus too much on these classifications. The first truly comprehensive classification was done by a Russian scientist named Mendeleev. Mendeleev arranged the elements in order of their atomic masses and proposed a new law. The Mendeleev's periodic law says that chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic masses. Mendeleev made a periodic table based on his law, and he made groups and periods in his periodic table. He kept a few elements with higher atomic masses before those of lower atomic masses in order to justify their chemical properties, and Mendeleev was bold enough to even predict discovery of new elements which were not known during his times. The limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table are position of hydrogen and position of isotopes. So hydrogen is an electropositive element, it can donate an electron, so it behaves like an alkali metal. Hydrogen can also gain an electron and can behave like a halogen. So it can be put along with alkali metals or along with halogens. So in the Mendeleev's periodic table, hydrogen was put along with alkali metal. So position of hydrogen was a debatable issue. Isotopes are the substances with same atomic mass and same atomic number and different atomic masses. But isotopes, they could not be put any slot in Mendeleev's periodic table because it was based on atomic masses. But Mendeleev's idea, it got attention of the later scientists, and many of them started working on improvement of Mendeleev's periodic table. One of the scientists was Henry Moseley. He, along with his teammates, arranged the elements as per their atomic numbers, because they thought that atomic number is a more fundamental property of elements rather than atomic masses. So they came with the modern periodic law. The modern periodic law says that chemical properties of elements is a periodic function of their atomic numbers. The modern periodic table has 18 groups and 7 periods. Elements in a particular group have same number of valence electrons, and the period number, it is equal to the number of shells in a particular element. Group 17 contains halogens and group 18 contains noble gases. The period number 1 has 2 elements. Period 2 and 3 have each 8 elements each. Periods 4 and 5 have 18 elements each, and period 6 and 7 have 32 elements each. The rationale behind number of elements in particular periods is beyond the scope of this lesson. You will understand about them in your higher classes. Now let us talk about the trends in the modern periodic table. First of all, valency. So what is valency? The valency is the ability of a particular element to donate or accept or share electrons to make bonds. So if an element has 7 electrons in its outermost shell, its valency will be 1, because it can easily gain 1 electron. On the other hand, if an element has 1 electron in its outermost shell, it will be able to donate 1 electron to make a bond. So the valency of that element will also be 1. The valency of elements remains same in a group, and when we move across a period, it increases up to 4 and then decreases up to 0. So the valency increases like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then comes down to 3, 2, 1 and 0. Now let us talk about atomic size. When we move down a group, the atomic size increases, and when we move across a period, the atomic size decreases. The reason for this is that when we move down a group, there is an addition of a new shell, and due to this the atomic size increases. When we move across a group, the effective nuclear charge increases, and this explains the reduction of atomic size across a period. These diagrams will help you to understand this concept in a better way. So these diagrams show how a new shell is being added at each subsequent period. So this is period number 1 with 1 shell. There are 2 shells in period number 2, and there are 3 shells in period number 3. So what happens, the outermost electrons, they go farther and farther away as we move down a group. So the force of attraction or effective nuclear charge on the outermost electrons, it tends to decrease, and that is why the size of atom increases when we move down a group. These figures, they show the trend in across a period. So the number of shell, it remains the same. This say first period, so there is just 1 shell. The number of electrons are being added, and so do the number of protons. So here 1 electron is being added, then number of electrons becomes 3, then there are 4 electrons. Similarly, the number of protons increases from 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what happens, because of increase in number of protons, the positive charge increases. This increases the effective nuclear charge, and more charge means the outermost electrons, they will be pulled with more strength towards the nucleus, and that is why the atomic size decreases when we move across a period. This concept of reduction or increase in atomic size also explains the trend of metallic or non-metallic property in a periodic table. So what is a metal? A metal is an electropositive element. So metal easily gives electron to become positively charged. Okay. So let us talk about compare two metals, potassium and magnesium. Potassium can easily give up one electron and becomes charged with one positive charge, while magnesium can give two electrons to become positively charged with two plus charges. Okay, so definitely it is easier to give up one electrons compared to giving up two electrons. Okay, so what happens when we move down a group? Because of reduction in effective nuclear charge, it becomes easier to give up electrons, and that is why metallic property increases when we move down a group. But when we move across a period, it becomes more difficult to lodge electrons, and that is why metallic property decreases when we move across a period. Opposite of this happens in case of non-metallic property. So the non-metallic property decreases when we move down a group, and non-metallic property increases when we move across a period. So to sum up, you learnt about Dobereiner's triad, Newland's law of octave, Mendeleev's periodic table, and about modern periodic table. At the end, I talked about the trends in modern periodic table with reference to valency, atomic size, and metallic property. That's all. Thank you.